Yes, I've got something quite different today. This is a Paper GP30. Well, it's a mix between a GP25 and a GP30 grenade launcher, which I have made out of paper. And if you're wondering how I could have made such a thing out of paper, it's because I have paper and then some PVA, wood glue and paper, and I stack that and I let it dry and it becomes quite hard. So you can just use like regular wood glue like that, and I also use some super glue and some metal here and there and some wood. And if you don't know what this is a Russian 40mm grenade launcher, which they've got underneath the barrels of AKs, different types. It uses a caseless ammunition like this, and what I've used for this is I used the base of a 12 gauge shotgun shell, and I drilled out the holes. Hopefully it will focus on the camera here, it's a bit hard to see. And then it's basically a tube, the rest. And this gun, it's sort of a semi-automatic action. Here's the trigger, which pulls the hammer backwards. It's not completely finished. I need to add some more small things and cut down these wooden rods that I've used for these parts here. I used the blueprints for the GP25 and some photos of the GP30, so it's sort of a mix of both and some additions. I mean, that's what I like about Russian guns. They're very rough, and it doesn't matter if you're a little bit off on the size, it will still work. And for example, here, this is the frame, this is the chamber, I guess you can call it. This piece in real life, on the real thing, is supposed to be inside of that. I wasn't able to see that on the blueprints, so I put this thing on the inside, which doesn't really matter. So yeah, this piece, it's not completely finished. I need to stop it. It goes a bit too far into the barrel, and what this does is, because this is a caseless ammunition, this holds the shell in place, so this sticks too far to the barrel so it doesn't click in itself. I also need to make a ejector, which is basically a rod which goes in there that I can use to push the cartridge or the shell out if I need to. And what this thing does, I think it's called the catch, is it holds the cartridge, the shell in place hard enough that when the firing pin hits, it won't just push the shell forward. It will actually get enough force at the primer, and it's also loose enough that you can eject it with the ejector, and when the shell goes off, it will fly off. So let's see if I can't get this out of here. I might make another video on this. And so this piece, basically, like I've said, holds the shell through a hole in the barrel, and there's a little spring that pushes it up. And I've simplified some of the parts, like I've glued this spring in place here, and for example this grip I've glued in place. And so yeah, I have fired this and it did work, although it's not very reliable. I'm using these as primers, and they're not really that reliable. I can't cut them into a perfect circle, so when I hit them, they sort of turn around a little bit. And what I've used for propellant is I've used some butane gas from a lighter, and most of the times I've had this cap off, so when the primer ignites the gas, most of it goes out and makes a cool flame. And how it works in real life is, or when I had this cap on, is that the gases don't have anywhere to go, so they go at the back and push the cartridge forward. And in real life there's just a little powder charge in the back, and there's a fuse, and most of this is explosives if it's a high explosive shell. And yeah, so I will probably paint this black and cut down these pieces to make it look a bit more nice. There's also supposed to be a railing and a sight up here that I still have to do, and some more of these on the barrel that are a bit thicker. The barrel didn't turn out that good. It's really strong, but it's all wrinkly, and I think that's why. I think it's because I made the layer. Well, I added a lot of layers at the time. I think that may have caused it. Also that I didn't put it so good on, with lack of a better term. So yeah, I might make a disassembly of this. It's a really simple gun. Sorry, mechanic. So yeah, now I have also started a new project, which you will probably see. I've just barely started that. Looking forward to that. That's a real gun. And that's the thing about this isn't really to shoot. This is just to... oh, it jumped a bit there. This is just to see